welcome to episode 5 of No Limits, your weekly PlayStation podcast. I'm your host Zaeem, and this week I have Sarah with me, and joining us via audio only are Amaan and Yousuf. So our first section is what we've been playing this week. I have been playing Ratchet & Clank, the PS4 game. At 60 FPS on PS5, which was really fun. I like all the weird little weapons that they have. I like the fun story, and it's such a colorful game. It's pretty amazing. I remember playing one of the games back on the PS3 ages ago, and I thought, oh my god, like how are they doing all of this, like displaying so many enemies and so many effects on screen at the same time and have it run smoothly. So I was pretty impressed, and it's making me excited for what they're doing in the upcoming PS5 exclusive Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. So that was cool. So when I finished that, I started playing Immortal Phoenix Rising. So I only played, I think, the first hour of it last night, but I was too tired, so I had to go to sleep. But so far it looks interesting. It's similar gameplay to like Assassin's Creed, because obviously it's made by the same company, so it's got a lot of the same sort of visual language and stuff, so it's very easy to pick up for people like me and Sarah who like Assassin's Creed. But and it's so like colorful as well, but I just haven't spent enough time looking into the controls or whatever, but I haven't found a photo mode, which I thought was strange because Valhalla has one. I'm sure there is one, and I'm just being stupid and haven't figured out what the button combination is. I could just Google it, and I probably should have. But if there is one, you'll definitely be seeing pictures of this on my Twitter very soon. So Sarah, what have you been playing this past week? And don't tell me it's Days Gone again.
Obviously, I played Days Gone like last week. I just take some shots and enjoy riding in the Oregon, and that's just this game that I played.
Okay, and are you actually replaying the story as well, or are you just playing like New Game Plus?
Well, I think I'm crazy because I restart the game, but not with the New Game Plus. It was just a classic game, and I'm crazy because I restart with the hardest difficulty. Is Survive 2, I think, or well, and I don't know. I just wanted to get some challenge and just want to get some difficulty, but well, I died many times. I'm just crazy.
Okay, you're a much better gamer than I am then, because there's no way I would. Because I remember how hard it was the first time when I first met the hordes. I think for the first half of the game, I didn't attack any of them because I was just too scared. It's only when I got like really upgraded that I started like trying to fight them. So yeah, if I ever get around to playing it again, I'm sure I will. Then I will be playing New Game Plus and easy mode again, or story mode, whatever there is, and just blast through all of the enemies in one go. I think that'll be fun. And you, Yusuf?
So I have been playing Resident Evil 7, and I've actually managed to complete it in one day. And for me, completing a horror game in a day is like, wow, I could not believe it. Now, I know the game isn't that long, but it's actually freaking scary. I mean, come on, a Resident Evil game. They are meant to be scary. Right now. I'm actually planning to finish most of the Resident Evil games I have right now with me before I buy the Resident Evil 8 when it comes out on launch.
Cool, thank you guys. Well, now let's talk about one of our stories, which is the Resident Evil 8 demo. So we had, I think, only 8 hours to play it, which was a bit weird, and I think that unfairly restricted a lot of people from playing it. But then again, this demo was very short, and I don't think it was meant to blow us away. I think it was just there as a bit of a tease, bit of a marketing tease for people who are already into it, probably. I enjoyed it. I thought and especially because it was running at a high frame rate, that made the first person aspect a lot easier to handle, less dizziness and headaches, and I remember getting the shotgun, but only having one bullet, so I didn't end up using it. I didn't even try it in the air or anything, because I thought, oh, maybe I'll save it. Maybe there'll be like a bigger enemy. And when I got to the werewolf, like I heard the werewolves, but I couldn't see them, and I freaked out, waiting for something to happen. Nothing happened, and went into the tall grass, and finally was able to spot them and start shooting. I like that enemy. It's something different, and I can't wait to see what they have in the full game in terms of like obviously the bigger werewolves, um, and I'm sure there'll be a boss battle with a werewolf as well. So I wonder how we're going to take that thing down, because they don't seem to be using specific like silver bullets or garlic or whatever. So I don't know. So I think it'll be interesting to see. I'll definitely be getting this game soon after release, as I've done with most of the previous Resident Evils. And I think there's another demo coming this weekend that will be set in the castle, and just before release they released like a 1 hour demo that has both of them, I think, if I remember reading correctly. So it'd be cool to play in the castle and have Lady Dimitrescu chasing you around to see how she compares to Mr. X and from Resident Evil 2 and Nemesis from RE3, because when those guys were chasing you around, it was pretty scary, and she looks like she's even taller than them, and she's got those claw hands. So yeah, that should be interesting. Sarah, have you played it, and what did you think?
I have played the demo of this game. I don't usually like the first person game, but I wanted to test the demo of this game. The fact that it's in the first person didn't disturb me. The camera moved slowly, which didn't make me dizzy. Concerning the events that you experienced in the demo, I thought I would be more scared, but there weren't many scary scenes. Expect the one in the field. Oh my god, I just screamed there. I just run to get out of this field, and well, I was very very scared there. But I have to admit that my mother helped me a lot. In the afternoon, she had watched a Let's Play from a YouTuber, and she came to me and said, "Oh, you know, there is a demo of a game that's coming out today." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, it's Resident Evil, and I downloaded it, and we are testing it tonight." And she was very exciting, almost more than me. So she knew all the location of the collectible. She told me where to go, so I wouldn't waste time in the 30 minutes. I ask her every 2 minutes, is there where I will be attacked? So she helped me a lot, and we were able to finish in 26 minutes. So I had 2 minutes after the trailer to test the photo mode, but I just take two shots because I didn't have a lot of time. And for once, I put the game on easy difficulty, because I was afraid of dying and losing time, especially because I'm not used to playing in first-person view, so I thought that I will die a lot. So I'm just I decided to put the demo on easy difficulty. And to conclude, I like the demo, even if it's not the type of the game that I usually play. I will play the second demo this weekend, and I will see later if I will buy the game
It
or
may
not.
be a good idea if you enjoy the demo to play to buy 7 and play 7 before you buy this one. Obviously by the time it would have gone down in price as well, but also because with Resident Evil 7 it's not a reboot, but it kind of started a new story. So the character you play in 8 is the same character you play in 7, but he was new to the series in 7. He had never appeared before, and 8 follows directly his story, which was explained in 7. And I mean, I enjoyed 7 quite a bit. It was taking the series back to its roots, of like survival horror, and again I played it on easy and I had a walkthrough, but it was still really quite fun because there aren't as many like enemies everywhere as in the previous games. Especially initially in the game, it's more of like you have some areas where you have one enemy, just one, and he or she kind of walks around the place, and you have to go and do your puzzles and collect inventory, whatever, while trying to avoid that person, which which is a different kind of tension compared to the other games where like there could be zombies at any corner. So this one, a lot of scenes where just there's one enemy, and they don't know where you are. So as long as you remain hidden, you're fine. But that made it even more tense because then you're listening to see like, are they coming? Can you hear the footsteps? So that was pretty cool. I recommend you check it out. Um, and I think Aman and Yousuf have both played it as well. So guys, what did you guys think of the demo? Why don't you tell us?
Now, the Resident Evil 8 demo was amazing. I actually really cannot wait to play that game. I think they have added a photo mode 2 now, as in the demo you could actually, use photo mode, but it's actually first person mode, so we cannot actually take pictures of the player, the actual player, like how you take in Red Dead Redemption, Last of Us, and all of those games. But that's okay. I think, Sarah, you need to buy this game to take amazing landscape pictures of this game, because you're amazing at photo mode.
Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. So our second story, again, to do with Resident Evil, the RE-verse demo. I think only myself and Yusuf have played this. I normally don't play much online anyway, so I'm not probably not the right audience for it. But the first thing I did was switch off. It had like a comic style filter on it, so I switched that off. It was all right. It was cool to control, like to play as Jill again and the other characters, but and when you die you transform into one of the bioweapons, which was an interesting concept. But I don't see myself playing this for a long time or anything. It's I don't think it's my kind of thing. I think it would be fun if you're playing with people you know, then it would probably be more fun. But just playing with randos would be a bit weird. So, well, for me anyway. So, yeah, that's that. Now, one of the main stories of this week are clickbait tweets and knee-jerk reactions. So it feels like this is a Resident Evil themed episode because all our stories are about Resident Evil, including this one. So I think today or yesterday there was a someone tweeted out some leaked marketing documents allegedly from between Capcom and Sony, and a lot of people misinterpreted the wording in it to mean that Sony have forced Capcom to kind of bring down the quality of the game on other consoles, but in reality it turns out that that wasn't the case. If this thing is legit, then all it means is that they want to have the same features on all the consoles, and it does have a clause in there with exceptions. So obviously if another console has higher power they can use that, but it's to do with content and features. But I think, for example, that deal doesn't it forbids Capcom from creating like DLC specifically for Stadia or specifically for Xbox. So if they're going to do any DLC they have to bring it to PlayStation and everything else, which I think is fine. It gives everyone the chance to play the same content, but also the clause about, again, Stadia and Game Pass, all it did was say that after a specific amount of time, I think it was 1 year, only then are Capcom allowed to discuss putting it on Game Pass and Stadia, and before they do that, they have to do their first sort of negotiation with Sony to bring it to PS Plus, for example. So again, I don't think there's any real news there. Those types of deals happen all the time. If anything, this is like a very light version of the deals they normally do, because normally companies pay publishers an amount of money to keep to have like timed exclusives or even full exclusives from third parties, which I think actually hurts people in the sense that then not everyone gets to play the game when it comes out. They have to wait like a year to play it if it's the time exclusive. So that would be annoying, but I think this was a non-story. But it does go to show that, you know, if you're reading a quick tweet, it's easy to kind of think, take it for the truth and just run with it, and then the thing goes viral when no one has looked into the detail, and then like 6 hours later someone who understands just takes some time and reads it and says, oh yeah, this is not what it meant at all, which is frustrating. And obviously a lot of gaming sites retweet this stuff and run with it just to get more clicks as well, which is frustrating. So the onus, clearly, if the journalists aren't going to do the work in fact checking, then the onus is on us as consumers, as gamers, to make sure what we're reading is actually true and not just someone else's interpretation of it. Sarah, I'm sure you've heard about this, or at the very least you've heard it from us today. What did you think of this, and what have you heard around it?
Well, I don't have much to say about that. It's normal to have exclusive games. It's the war between the two platforms since a lot of time. But the rumor that Sony asked for a lower quality game on Xbox, that is just rumor. It will be unfair from Sony. It's good to want to have a game as an exclusive, but it's not good to want to decrease the performance of the other. And it's the players that pay the price at the end. So, and it's just unfair. And I don't think that the developers would accept to see the quality of their games lowered on the platform. It will be a bad publicity for them. So I don't think that they would accept that. So I think it's just rumor.
Okay, cool. So that brings us to our next story, which again is another unverified rumor. So this one is about an upcoming video service that's going to be merged with PS Plus. Now, I remember back on PS4 and maybe even PS3, there was like a Sony sort of video service where you could buy/rent their films, because obviously Sony also has a film division, Sony Pictures, and they make like the Spider-Man films. They made Venom, so they own some of those IPs. And so when I heard about this, I don't really care because I play PlayStation to play games, and I don't generally use any streaming platforms anyway, so it didn't really bother me. But obviously, if it's genuine and it's like a 2-month or whatever free trial for existing PS Plus members, then it's great value because you're not paying any extra and you're getting this service, and you can see if you like it. What I am sort of unsure about is, okay, well, after the trial, then what happens? Are they gonna then have 2 versions of PS Plus, one with video and one without, or are they gonna have like a separate video only subscription, which they can then open to any platforms, kind of like Netflix? You know, so are Sony also doing that? Because I think there's, in my personal opinion, there are enough streaming platforms out there, like Hulu, HBO, whatever, like, you know, there are enough, and Disney Plus more recently, so we don't really need any more. But then again, maybe, you know, maybe the Uncharted film would come out on this platform, you never know, or the Last of Us series next year, maybe that will come exclusive to that platform. So that may help drive subscribers if that's what they're aiming for. But personally, I don't care. This is not going to make. I already have PS Plus, so this isn't going to. But if I didn't, this wasn't going to be the thing that makes me buy it.
The first thing I thought was, another one, really? Another one's a streaming service? And well, you know, there are already a lot of streaming services, and this pushes the consumer to make choices. We can't afford all the subscription. And currently I have Prime Video because it was included in my Amazon Prime subscription that I had before the launch of Prime Video. So I did not need to pay more. Recently, in March, I took the Disney Plus subscription mainly for the Marvel series, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and upcoming Loki. But also for the National Geographic documentaries. Don't laugh at me. There are some interesting ones, but I haven't had the time to watch them yet. Besides offering their own movies, I don't see what else they could offer in their catalog. But I really want to know more about this. Will they create new original series like Prime Video, Disney Plus, Apple TV, or Netflix too? It's always interesting to see new series or movies. If there are good movies and series and the price of the PS Plus doesn't increase, I might be interested. But I should just make a choice based on the price. Do I keep Disney Plus or not? I actually don't know.
Okay. No, that's a good thought, because if they suddenly announce that, oh, actually, we've been working on a bunch of TV shows based on our first-party games, and that's coming out, so then I'm be like, yeah, okay, I'll sign up. I'll pay extra money for it. That's fine. I'll sign up for it because I would want to watch those shows. Then I think I should support it. But yeah, no, I see what you mean. Okay, so our next or final news section, I suppose, is about Returnal. So I believe it's a roguelite game from a studio that has developed Resogun, I think, previously. And so today there were a couple of journalists have posted a video of like a first hour or first 45 minutes of gameplay. I had a look at it, but first I'll ask you guys what you think.
When it was first presented, the game really intrigued me. It was one of the games that really jumped out at me. I really wanted to learn more about it. The principle of going back to the beginning when you die is very interesting, even if it's very frustrating at the same time, you know. But the change of the environment each time you go back to the beginning make it less frustrating. I didn't have time to watch the full video's impression of the tester and YouTuber, but from what I saw, the game looks pretty cool. The scenery just look gorgeous, and this image immediately made me want to take some shots, and I will probably take some. I hope it has just a great photo mode.
Okay, my thoughts probably similar to yours. Like when I first saw the trailer, I think it may have been during the PS5 reveal last year that they first showed footage of this. Yeah, and I thought, well, first of all, like having an older woman as a main character, which is quite rare, so I thought that was cool. It gave me like Alien vibes from like the Alien film, which is quite cool. And even like the design of the environment, the doors and stuff, the way things move and open, and the creatures themselves with all the sort of like tentacly things, and when they explode, but even when they're moving around, that looks amazing. And a lot of them shoot projectiles at you, which is similar to you. I thought, yeah, that would look really cool in photo mode if you could like pause that moment, move the camera around, yeah, and see what you could do. And obviously all the tentacles as well. And I think I saw one boss battle which looked interesting, but what scares me about this is again the whole restart from the beginning thing. I know that you unlock some of the stuff you unlock stays with you, but I don't yet have a sense of. I know your weapon upgrades don't stay, which is annoying. So, because in my mind, like if it worked in the way that okay, you die, you come back to the beginning, but you keep your weapons, then I would be more open to it. But the fact that I kind of lose most of my upgrades when I go back, I think that would, after a while, it would get frustrating. But also, I've never played a game in this style before, so maybe this is the one to try it with, because it looks very good, it looks fun. But I think conceptually, like in my head, I can't get my head around it. I can't sort of get my head around the concept, because I think, but what if I get like really far through the story and then I die? So am I gonna have to start again? Like, how am I gonna be like really angry and just give up? So I don't know. But one of the cool things that I saw about the game was where a lot of people were talking about the dual sense and how it feels because of adaptive triggers. one of the firing buttons is if you press the trigger halfway, then it does alternate fire. If you press it completely, then it does normal fire. So it's like you're having an extra button, in a manner of speaking. So that seems cool. I'd love to like try that and feel that. But also, even they were talking about all the different effects that come through the controller, and even the sound that matches the vibration. So I think that'll be interesting to experience firsthand. So yeah, I can't remember when the game comes out, but I believe it's very soon. So yeah, it's another game to look forward to. Let's now move on to our fun topic of the week, which is which superheroes should get their own game. Now, guys, you can't choose a superhero that already has a game, so it has to be one that hasn't had a game before.
Black Panther took the world by storm the first time he was introduced to the MCU. Now, T'Challa has his own movie and a huge role in the MCU. Perhaps it's also a high time to get his own solo video game. It can be a good combination of action and stealth, a video game genre that sorely needs new titles. It's bound to be more unique with a superhero twist and with all faces fans know and love. Moreover, anything that expands and explores the Black Panther mythos is surely welcome. Now my second one would be the one and only Natasha Romanoff, well known as the Black Widow. It's about time Marvel recognized Black Widow's potential to be her own character instead of just a top spy for the Avengers. Black Widow's own movie is looking great, and her video game's potential also should be similarly inspiring. It's first and foremost stealth action game in the similar vein as the Metal Gear franchise, or much like the Splinter Cell, except here the stakes are higher and involve shape-shifting aliens, neo-fascists, and deceptive governments, pretty much like the Metal Gear, but it actually makes sense. Technically, now I'm gonna talk about my second game. That second game I would want, a superhero game, right? Technically, there already exists a Guardians of the Galaxy game made by the Telltale Games, but it's more like an interactive movie with branching dialogue options. Instead, it certainly doesn't take a full advantage of strength of this ragtag superhero group. If anything, they're out to be a fully fledged Guardians of the Galaxy role-playing game in the same vein as the Mass Effect, but more comedic. In the hands of the right RPG developer, it could turn into a golden opportunity for a different kind of Marvel game. Just think of how hilarious the dialogues could be. Especially Drax though, because he's the funniest character. What do you guys think? Now that's it with Marvel, let's go on to DC. Martian Manhunter would be a good one. So Martian Manhunter is an alien superhero born on Mars, and a DC staple nearly as popular as Batman and Superman. He was a founding member of the Justice League and the JLA. He has a huge list of powers that would make any Martian Manhunter solo video game a blast to play, including superhuman strength, speed, durability, endurance, a healing factor, flight, super elasticity, if I pronounce that right, invisibility, telekinesis, telepathy, mind control, and much more. He also has a shape-shifting ability that he frequently uses to appear human while acting as a detective on Earth. Martian Manhunter was first introduced in 1955, so he has had a huge amount of story arcs that could be adapted into a compelling video game experience, meaning that the game could follow him on Earth as he fights the Earth-based supervillains or in space, hunting down the creatures who destroyed his planet. With such rich backstory and a massive power set, there's no limit what DC could do with a video game based on their most popular characters ever.
I wanted to say Captain America as it's my favorite Marvel superhero. I would like a game focused on his character, on his life before his transformation, and his life after. I would have liked a game focused on each Marvel character, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, even if it would look like the last Assassin's Creed. But well, Black Panther 2 could be really great to play, and exploring Wakanda will be so great.
I have good news for you. There is already a Captain America game.
No, are you
Yeah.
serious?
There was a No. Before that, so when the first Captain America film came out, there was already a game that came out with alongside it, and there is already a Thor game as well.
No, really?
Yeah, and there are 2 Iron Man games already.
Well, I didn't know that they existed. Oh, I will check this. I will check this game, and oh my god.
So unless you still have a PS3, you won't be able to play
Yeah,
them.
I still have my PS3. She's on the box. On the box. Well, I think it functioned well. So I will see to get this game and play it. It's just a great news. I didn't know. Oh, it is very cool. Well, I will probably say Wonder Woman, I think. Yeah, it could be a great game. Exploring our highland, with gorgeous scenery, and I could just take some VPs. And, well, this could be great. And use our superpower and maybe the lasso of truth. I don't know if it's the word in English. This could be great. Jump with the lasso and take some enemies. Well, I think this game could be really great, and maybe a game like the first game, the first movies, with the war, and maybe a sequel, like the second film that I just watched 3 days ago. This could be great. This could be a great game, a gorgeous game, and well, I think it's a good choice.
I mean, obviously she's been in like games where there were multiple DC characters, but not. I don't think she's had a video game for herself. Let me have a look. No, she's been in a lot of like Justice League games even ages ago, but no, there's never been a Wonder Woman game. That's annoying. There should be one. Her game could be like a God of War game. Yeah, I mean, it's the obvious choice because it's already like Greek mythology, but yeah, I think that would be quite cool because combat especially could be similar to God of War. And I'm sure that would be great. So game developers out there, please go and make a Wonder Woman game. Now I'm thinking, what about me? So my favorite hero is Batman anyway, and we've had loads of games, so I can't choose that again, unfortunately. But and even Superman has had some games, although they haven't been great. So again, I won't cheat and reuse that. And Spider-Man I really like, and he's also had great games. So I've been lucky. So all the ones I like have had games. So yeah, Black Panther would be a great one to have his own game. I know he's going to be in Avengers soon, but it'd be cool for Black Panther to have his own game. So like in the MCU, some lesser known characters, like the new ones coming up. Shang-Chi, there was a trailer recently, so that looks cool because that could be like a martial arts sort of action game with really cool combat, so that could be interesting. And even the young Avengers, which we haven't yet seen on film, but there's going to be like Kamala Khan, Miss America, and a bunch of others. It would be cool because they have slightly different power sets than the ones who exist already. There's one character in Marvel who I really like called Squirrel Girl. Have you heard of her? Okay, she is amazing. In one of the comics, she defeated Thanos by herself, and she's really funny because her comics are kind of very tongue-in-cheek, very jokey. She make fun of a lot of comic book tropes, and she sometimes teams up with some of the other younger heroes, which is always cool to see. But I think, yeah, a game with her would be quite fun because in the comics she meets characters like Thanos, she meets like Galactus and Victor Von Doom, and she kind of doesn't take them seriously. She makes fun of them, so it would be cool to have her in a game. Also, there may have been a game of this person before, but maybe not recently. Well, the whole group of the Defenders, so Luke Cage, Daredevil, Jessica. Oh, what's Jessica's surname? Damn, I can't believe I'm forgetting that now. Jessica Jones. That's right. Jessica Jones and Iron Fist. So it'd be like a Defenders game would be pretty cool, especially because all four characters are pretty much just brawlers. They fight hand to hand. They don't really have powers, so you could differentiate them with one of them doing like Daredevil doing more acrobatics and Luke Cage being more like a tank in terms of his attacks that move slower but punch harder, stuff like that. So I think that would be a cool one. I'm thinking within the DC pantheon, maybe let's go outside of the two main ones. There's a TV show recently that was made based on a book, The Umbrella Academy. So those characters are pretty cool. They all have very different powers. So I think it would be interesting to see what you could do with each of their power sets, especially if you build a level designed around a particular character. Be interesting to see what they could do with that. Kick-Ass, which I really like the comics and the film. They have no powers, and they're pretty much useless. But that would just be a fun game to play because it pokes fun at superheroes. I'm trying to think if there's and if there are any other superheroes. I was going to say Shazam, but he's very similar to Superman, except for the lightning stuff. So maybe not that. Yeah, no, I can't think of anything else right now. I'm sure as soon as we stop recording, then I will.
Thank you all for listening. Please do follow us on whichever streaming platform you're using so that you can get notified when new episodes are posted. You can contact us on Twitter at nolimits_PS. You can see Sarah's virtual photography work at CaliSarah1998, so that's at CALISARAH 1998. Amaan at AMAAN_M05. Yousuf at YJSYEDS, and myself at ZXAEEM on Twitter. Contact us there, send us your suggestions for future topics, and tell us what you're playing. Thanks again. Goodbye.